think of when you hear the word social? When I tell people that I work with college students on campuses and I say I teach social skills, they automatically think of parties. That's what they think that I do for a living, and that's not what I do at all. When I think of your generation and I think of social, I think of things like iPhones, iPads, computers, what's trending on Twitter, what's going on Instagram, what's going on Facebook and Flickr, and all of those different forms of social media that you all engage in. And I think all of those things are wonderful. But when I say the word social, what I'm talking about is building real, authentic relationships with one another. Sorority should be the safest and the best place to do that. But so often, we don't really know in a deep and authentic way our sisters. And so this particular section of our curriculum is about how to connect. So I'm going to walk you through a couple of ways in which you can connect with your women and just a couple of relationship building techniques. When I'm talking about social, I'm talking about what we call at Phired Up social excellence. Social excellence is a state of perpetual generosity, curiosity, positivity, and openness to limitless possibility, a desire to intentionally connect with others, the ability to engage in deep, meaningful conversation, acting in a responsible and respectable manner with high expectations of others, being authentic and living every day with integrity as the best version of oneself, being confident and vulnerable, being fun and compassionate, being open, kind, and bold. Social excellence is something that I really want to encourage you to practice. And it starts with a handshake. At Phired Up, we say that handshakes lead to conversations. Conversations lead to relationships. Relationships lead to belonging. Relationships are fun. They keep people engaged. They keep your women retained. Belonging saves lives, and it changes the world. So if you just go up to someone and shake their hand and say, "Hi, it's nice to meet you. My name is Colleen," that handshake has the ability to change the world. So just start by shaking someone's hand that you don't know very well in your chapter, and sit down and have a conversation with them. Conversations often are met with questions. Asking good questions is a key to building authentic relationships through conversation. When we ask questions, we ask them in several different frames. Often we ask yes or no questions. Do you like food? Yes or no? Yes. Or we ask them in a short answer way. What type of food do you like? Broccoli or Brussels sprouts? Broccoli. Or we can ask questions in an open-ended fashion. Open-ended questions leave room for the listener to interpret what you're asking. They then begin to talk about what's important to them, not necessarily just answering something that you have shared, and you get to know a lot about them in asking an open-ended question in the right way. Tell me about the last best meal that you had. That's an open-ended question, and that allows the responder to share a lot of herself with you. Asking good questions is a key to building relationships. A couple of topics that you can talk about as you begin to build relationships with people that you don't necessarily know in your chapter include family, fun, future, and feelings. What did you feel about that vote last week at chapter meeting? What is it that you want to do with your major? Tell me about the last time you had a lot of fun. What's your family like? Those are things that you can ask of your sisters that you don't know very well to get to know them a little bit better. Other open-ended questions we love are, the last time I laughed so hard it hurt was. The last time I really cried was. Those are things that you can try with your membership, or just some things that you can try in terms of relationship building in your own life. I think you get the picture. Shake a hand, ask a good question, sit back and listen, spend time listening and getting to know the person on the other end. Also, being your authentic self is important. Who are you when you're at your very best? You should be able to show up to your sorority and be the very best but most authentic version of yourself. And that should be the safest place in the world for you to do that. Your job is to listen to your sisters without judgment and without condition. And that's a really key component of helping them feel like they belong and helping them feel like they are in authentic relationships with you. When you're making choices, choose to be social. Choose authenticity. Choose excellence. Choose to be in relationships. Choose your people first.